The Rangers have one of the best pitchers in baseball, a guy with an elite fastball, elite command, a guy coming off of Tommy John surgery, fully healthy this year, and he's dominating. It's exactly who we expected. Wait, hold on a second. That's not Jacob deGrom. That's Tyler Mahle.
You are Locked On Rangers, your daily Texas Rangers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are locked onto the Texas Rangers, the first and best daily Rangers podcast. I'm Bryce Patrick, a cripplingly addicted Texas Rangers fan, covering this team for 12 seasons, including all 7 as the founder and host of this podcast. Thank you all so much for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. If you're not already, you can follow me on Twitter at Bryce Patrick. You can follow the show at Locked On Rangers. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and on YouTube, where the best way you can help grow the show is to comment nearly any single thing below. Now, on today's show, we're talking about, yes, one of the best pitchers in the game, Tyler freaking Mahle. His magnificent start to the season, and this Rangers rotation being one of the best in baseball, and not in the way that we expected. Before we get into all of that, this episode is brought to you by GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Now, last night, the Rangers snapped a 3-game losing streak on the backs of their ace, their best pitcher. No, it wasn't Jacob deGrom. No, it wasn't Nathan Eovaldi. It was Tyler freaking Mahle. 6 shutout innings against the Angels, who were in first place in the AL West before that game last night. Not anymore. Just 3 hits allowed, just 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. He has a .92 ERA, the best in Major League Baseball. Let me say that again. Tyler Mahle, through 4 starts this season, has a .92 ERA and is leading Major League Baseball with that ERA. Tyler Mahle, a guy who last year made 3 starts, he has been a good pitcher in the past, but as recently as spring training, somebody on this podcast, I'm not going to name names or point fingers, but somebody thought that Mahle was washed. Somebody thought that, Mahle might be one of those guys that is in the 10% or so that doesn't come back from Tommy John surgery. And boy, howdy, do I look stupid. My goodness, Tyler Mahle. My humblest apologies. I cannot be any humbler in my apologies. Let your disrespect be as loud as your apology be as loud as your disrespect. And my disrespect was way too loud. Tyler Mahle looked absolutely sensational last night with 18 swings and misses. It wasn't just that he got 9 strikeouts, it's that he dominated this Angels lineup, which has been one of the best in baseball, has been arguably the best lineup in baseball, at least one of the most homer-happy lineups in baseball. And it did not matter to Tyler Mahle. He saw Kyron Paris's breakout, and he said, no, you're not doing anything against me. He saw Mike Trout's resurgence and said, no, you're not doing anything against me. He's seen what Taylor Ward has done over the last couple weeks, what Travis d'Arnaud has done, what Jorge Soler has done, what this whole lineup has done. And he said, I do not give a crap. I'm better than you. I'm going to dominate you. I'm going to put you in your freaking place. And he did it while averaging 92 miles an hour with the fastball. It started to tick up a little bit more as he got through this start, ended with 93 pitches. The final one, 95.4 miles per hour. This is exactly how Tyler Mahle dominates. He throws a lot of fastballs, and they are exceptional. He throws them exactly where he wants to. And go look at the strikeouts. Go look at those strikeouts on the fastball, the swings and misses that he gets on the fastball. And basically every single time that they're swinging and missing at it, actually just most of the time they're swinging at it, they are swinging and missing. 11 swings and 20 swings on the 4-seam fastball. They threw it 46 times. They swung 20 times at it. They missed 11 of those times, and they only put it in play 4 times. They were not seeing that fastball well, and every time they're swinging under it because of the induced vertical break. Now, that is a term that may be over your head a little bit, but basically it means how much different does that fastball move than what an average fastball moves, what hitters think it should move, what it looks like, how much it looks like it should move. So basically it looks like it's rising. So every time that these hitters are swinging, they are underneath it. They are underneath the fastball because they think, oh, it's gonna drop a little bit more, and I'm gonna barrel it up. I'm gonna absolutely demolish it. And that's not how the night went for these Angels hitters. And he still hasn't given up a home run yet this season. He also leads Major League Baseball with batting average against. He has just not allowed basically any base runners. I mean, that game against the Cubs, he was exceptional. In this start, he was exceptional. And heck, even in the start before it against Tampa Bay, he allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. And even in that game against Boston, he was pulled pretty early. He walked 4 in an inning and 2/3. You take that start out, and he has been downright exceptional. Heck, these 3 hits that he allowed in this game, that's the most he's allowed in a game so far this season. I mean, he has been downright unbelievable. And you look at this Rangers rotation, overall, it's been great. And they have barely gotten anything from Kumar Rocker, from Jacob deGrom. They've gotten 2 great starts from Jack Leiter. But, I mean, you combine all of that, and you look at this Rangers rotation, they're the 4th best ERA in baseball. A 3.20 ERA in 17 games started. That is 4th behind the Mets at a 2.57, weirdly, even though they have a just real hodgepodge rotation, including Clay Holmes as their ace, converted reliever. Sure. The Cincinnati Reds, who the Rangers saw and were held down pretty handily by all 3 of their starters, including Hunter Green, who has looked like the best starter. If it's not Tyler Mahle, then it's Hunter Green. That's the best pitcher in baseball right now. They've got a 2.92 ERA. And then the Kansas City Royals at a 3.05 ERA. The Rangers have a better starter ERA than the Tigers, the Rays, the Padres, the Phillies, the Jays, the Dodgers. Everybody outside of those 3 teams, the Royals, Reds, and Mets, has a worse starter ERA than the Rangers. And that includes some blow-up starts from Kumar Rocker, a fine start in a pinch in that scenario with Patrick Corbin. He has a 6.7 ERA. Rocker has a nearly 8 ERA. And Jacob deGrom has an ERA north of 4. And this Rangers rotation still is the 4th best, in all of baseball. Because Tyler freaking Mahle. I mean, this is just game-changing. If the Rangers were to be in a playoff series right now, which if the season ended today, they would be. I don't know exactly how the tiebreakers would work out because all 3 of the teams that are leading their divisions in the American League have the exact same record at 10-7. Yankees at 10-7, Tigers at 10-7, Rangers at 10-7. So the Rangers are tied for the best record in the American League. I don't think they have not played the Tigers or the Yankees, so it'd be some weird tiebreaker. But basically, if the Rangers rotation was setting up for a postseason series right now, I think you'd throw Nathan Eovaldi in Game 1 because of his form and how he's done. Then for Game 2, I might go... if it was right now, I'd go Tyler Mahle. Although, if the Rangers were going into a postseason start, I think that Jacob deGrom would let that thing eat and go back to the, very fragile, but when he's at his best, truly unspeakably great version of himself. So maybe you do start Jacob deGrom Game 1. But right now, the Rangers' best pitcher has been Tyler Mahle. And their second best starting pitcher has been Jack Leiter. And their third best pitcher has been Nathan Eovaldi. If Nathan Eovaldi is your third best pitcher at a 2.5 ERA with a complete game shutty and no bad starts, that is a dangerously good rotation. But what Mahle has done so far this season, if he can stay durable, if he can stay healthy, if the Rangers can get 30 starts out of him, I really thought he could be the X factor in this rotation because I didn't know what to expect from Mahle. I mean, he has not been a guy who has been particularly durable. He's only had 1 season where he's made 30 starts. He's had 2 where he's thrown 25. He had 25 starts, but he threw under 130 innings in his second most durable season. 129.2 innings in 5 starts in an ERA north of 5. Granted, that was in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati is a hard place for pitchers to pitch. But he's only had 1 season where he's thrown more than 130 innings. That was back in 2021, his best season. He had 210 strikeouts and exactly 180 innings and an ERA plus of 125. That was a really, really good season. He was also healthy for the entire 2020 season. But, I mean, last year he pitched 12 and 2/3 innings in 3 starts and was shut down after coming back from Tommy John surgery with that shoulder soreness. He had Tommy John surgery in May after 5 starts with Minnesota in 2023. And then he only had 120 innings in 23 starts in 2022 because after he was traded to Minnesota from Cincinnati, he started having some issues and was only able to make 4 starts down the stretch after that trade deadline trade from Cincy. So he's not been a guy who's been particularly durable. And also, since he is a finesse guy, he does live on the edges. He will give up some walks, but it's not because he doesn't have command. It's because he has elite pinpoint command. And when he's missing, it's just off. But he's living on those edges of the strike zone, so he's not getting those calls. He can't. It's harder for him to go deeper into games. So we'll see how long this elite stretch lasts. He's eventually going to give up a home run. His stuff is just getting hit too hard for him to not. But when he's living like this, when he's getting this level of swings and misses, he's still finding that velocity. He starts to add a little bit more velocity. It is maybe going to get even better. Well, maybe not .92 ERA for an entire season, but in terms of individual starts, I mean, this is one of the best starts we've seen from a Ranger in terms of just pure stuff dominance. And if he's dominating at 92, that if he adds a mile or two per hour, which I think he can as the season wears on and as he starts to build back up that velocity and that durability, I mean, if the Rangers get 25, 30 starts of anywhere near this level of Tyler Mahle, this might just be the best rotation in baseball. Coming up, we're talking about how this rotation stacks up, what it's going to look like when Jack Leiter comes back, and when is he coming back? Right after this. This show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Basketball and hockey playoffs are heating up, and there's no better way to turn your sports knowledge into real rewards than with PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy. With PrizePicks, you simply pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, and you're in. You can even combine players across sports, basketball, hockey, baseball, and more for your chance to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Right now, they've got some numbers on the Mavs playing game right now. Let's see. We got more or less 32.5 points from Anthony Davis, the man who is just so acquainted with the plan. I am going less than that. More or less than 2.5 personal fouls on Anthony Davis. I'm going to go with a little bit more. And then, oh gosh, we got so many different numbers there. But let's see, more or less than 9.5 rebounds for Daniel Gafford. I'm going more with that. So download the app today. It's just that simple. And use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. Shout out to the editors for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. On tomorrow's show, I'll be back and talking about this game. Maybe the second Patrick Corbin start in a Texas Rangers uniform. I actually may be out in Frisco and taking a look at Cole Drake. We'll see where the evening takes me. But this Rangers rotation has just been exceptional so far this season, and I think that the best at bat, I don't want to go completely off of Tyler Mahle's start just yet, because there's one of his last 2 at bats really were just sensational, and this is against Mike Trout and against Jorge Soler, 2 of the best, most established hitters in this lineup. 2 of the best. Well, Mike Trout, one of the best hitters we've ever seen. He's not having the best season, but the power numbers are real, and the power numbers for this entire lineup are very, very real. I mean, this is just an insanely good power hitting team, and Tyler Mahle said, no power against me. Power outage. I am a storm taking your power. And this last strikeout of Trout with 3 swings and misses, the third time you've seen him, the third time that Mike Trout has seen him, and he is throwing basically the same stuff. He's still throwing that 4-seam fastball. Mike Trout still can't see it. Pitch 1, 92 miles an hour, middle of the plate, top of the zone, swinging strike 1. Pitch number 2, 92.4 miles an hour. A little bit different. Still, 4-seam fastball. Belt high, away, dotting that line over the edge of the plate. Swinging strike 2. Then he gets a splitter that's in the zone. He fouls it off. And then he throws that splitter again right in the dirt. Mike Trout swings over it. Strike 3, you are done. Then the final strikeout of the night against Jorge Soler. Pitch number 1, he misses with a slider, just a little bit off. Then pitch 2, swinging and missing at a 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone, basically that same pitch that he got Mike Trout on to swing and miss early in that count. Then he gets a cutter, just perfectly dotted on the outside corner. Misses a bit with pitch number 4, 94 miles an hour off the plate, but then goes right back on the outside corner, 95.4 miles an hour with a four-seam fastball. And Jorge Soler is late, and he's under it, and it is the fastest pitch of the night, the last pitch of the night, and he is still dealing. He's throwing the same pitch over and over and over again, and in order to do that and have success, you got to have just exceptional stuff. And the movement on that pitch, the movement on that fastball, it moves like a 98 mile an hour. It has the same kind of vertical break that Jack Leiter's four-seam fastball, which has good vertical break. It has that good shape to the fastball at 98. And Tyler Mahle's throwing it at 92 and getting the same level of movement from that four-seam fastball. That's how special Tyler Mahle has been. That's how Tyler Mahle is able to have success. But the rest of this pitching rotation has been exceptional as well. Nathan Eovaldi has been very, very good. Kumar Rocker has had a good start and several not great ones. Jack Leiter has had 2 exceptional ones. Jacob deGrom hasn't gotten really going just yet. And Tyler Mahle has had 3 really darn good starts in a row. But Jack Leiter, if not for Tyler Mahle, then Jack Leiter, I mean, he's leading this rotation with a 0.90 ERA as opposed to Tyler Mahle's exorbitant 0.92 ERA. But Jack Leiter is going to throw a bullpen on Thursday tomorrow, as you are probably listening to this, or maybe you listen to this on Thursday and he's throwing it today. But he's going to throw a live bullpen. He is not going to make a rehab start. It seems like at this point, at least. I thought that he was going to, Bruce Bochy said maybe he was going to make a rehab start either today or tomorrow in Frisco. That is no longer going to be the case. Jack Leiter will be eligible to be activated off the IL this weekend, but he is probably not going to start in this series against the Dodgers. It is going to be Jacob deGrom on Friday, then Nathan Eovaldi, I believe, on Saturday. And then Sunday, I would guess it would be Mahle again on regular rest. I mean, why not? If you can throw him twice in the series against 2 LA lineups that have been very, very hot, I mean, you can milk an extra Tyler Mahle start out of him, then why not? He's been your best pitcher so far, and he did this start on a regular starter's rest because of all these off days. And so Jack is probably going to come back at some point in that series against Oakland, which is no longer Oakland, and will be in Sacramento in that minor league ballpark, which I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty darn sure Jack has pitched in that AAA ballpark in West Sacramento, Yolo County, the Yolo County Athletics, as I am going to start calling them for the next however many seasons before they move to Las Vegas. But Jack is going to be back at some point in this rotation, and at that point, I would assume at this point, depending on how the second Patrick Corbin start goes and how Kumar Rocker looks like he bounces back after that start against Seattle, which I think the last inning or so kind of ballooned that into being a bad. He was on pace for a good start, and then just got really behind himself. But at this point, it's between one of those two, between Rocker and Patrick Corbin, as to who is going to be that final spot in this rotation. Because Jack Leiter is going to come back, and if 4 of the 5 in your rotation go Tyler Mahle, Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom, and Jack Leiter of this current version, it doesn't really matter who your number 5 starter is, because you're going to have a really darn good chance to win basically every single night. And again, this lineup hasn't even really gotten going yet. I mean, this is just so much better of a rotation than we expected heading into the season. Even with Jacob deGrom, and Jacob deGrom hasn't even gotten going yet. I mean, the best parts of this team have not gotten going yet, and the Rangers have the best record in the American League. They have a very, very good bullpen. I mean, the parts of this team that we thought were going to be not great have been, well, at least the rotation has been exceptional. I thought the rotation was going to be good, but I thought it was going to be good because Nathan Eovaldi is very good, and because Jacob deGrom is has been the best pitcher on earth when healthy for the last half decade or more. Actually, it's been basically a 7-year stretch or so that Jacob deGrom has been just truly unhittable, and he's been hittable. And this Rangers rotation is still exceptional despite what Jacob deGrom is doing. I mean, just uttering that sentence sounds absolutely insane. But the best parts of this team, again, think about that. It's been a little frustrating. This Rangers lineup, they did scratch out 4 runs, and 3 of those were against the bullpen, and one of those was a little bit due to an error, but the Rangers, forced that error with some good hitting and some good base running. They took advantage of it. Josh Young, scoring on that errant throw to first base. But the best parts of this team have yet to get going, and I think they absolutely will. I don't know exactly what's been off with Jacob deGrom just yet, but that's the thing about deGrom and the other great starters in this rotation. When you have this many starters that are going well, nobody really has to get going to their peak and feel that pressure to be at their best. Like you don't need fully actualized monster, unstoppable force Jacob deGrom until you get to the postseason. That is when you really, really need Jacob deGrom, sitting 99 with the 95-mile-an-hour slider, and he really only needs those 2 pitches because there's nothing anyone can do against either of them, and maybe he'll throw in a changeup just to bully you because he can. But you don't need that version for however many starts he gets this regular season, for 20 or 25 starts. If you can get that for 3 starts down the stretch, and then you can get that for 3 or 4 starts in the postseason, that's when you need it. That's when you need the best version of him, because you are facing the best teams. You are in the postseason. Those are the winning teams, the good ones. And that's when you need your best guys throwing their best stuff. But if you have a postseason rotation of Jacob deGrom, Tyler Mahle, Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom, Tyler Mahle, and then Jack Leiter at his current version of himself is your Game 4 starter. Heck, if anywhere near this version of Tyler Mahle is your Game 3 starter, that is an absolutely exceptional rotation. It doesn't really matter what this offense is doing. It hasn't gotten going yet, but if the offense keeps going at about this rate or ticks up a little bit better, you have a rotation like this. This is when you start to get a season for the ages, a postseason run that could be just as special, maybe more dominant than that 2023 one. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit about this offense and a good defensive play and day for the Rangers, including a play I didn't think the Rangers were capable of making this season. Talk about what that is and more right after this. This show is brought to you by GameTime. There's nothing better than going to a baseball game live. I mean, just the smell of the peanuts, the atmosphere, everything about going to a baseball game live, whether that's a Rangers game or whether that's a minor league game or whether that's whatever kind of baseball game or live sporting event, there is no better thing to do this summer than getting yourself to one of those games. But getting tickets to those games may be difficult for you. But not anymore. You've got GameTime on your side. GameTime is the best place to get your tickets for all kinds of different events you're looking to go to. If you wanted to snag a ticket to this Rangers-Dodgers series this weekend, GameTime has got incredible deals at the last minute. You can be looking through those prices. I mean, it is going to be an expensive one so far, but hey, look at GameTime. They've got incredible deals on last-minute tickets. You might be able to snag yourself a ticket, go see Jacob deGrom against the reigning World Series champs, and hopefully you can see him break out of what he has been a not great start to this season. You can go catch a minor league game out there in Frisco or wherever you are. GameTime's got tickets to all those events you're looking to go to this summer. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download GameTime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Shout out to the Everydayers making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. On Friday's show, we'll be talking to you hopefully after a series sweep, hopefully after an exceptional start from Kumar Rocker, and everything's going right and everything's sunshine and rainbows. But no matter what's happening, I'll be back with you on Friday. 5 days a week, the season is in full swing. You know what else is in full swing? Well, Corey Seager. Not the rest of this Rangers offense, but Corey Seager's bat is very much looking back to the the version of Corey Seager that we all know and very much appreciate. I mean, he is just hitting the ball with authority, a single and a double in this game. He also, the one time that he got out, he also worked a walk. The one time he got out, it was on a ball that was hit 107.4 miles an hour with an expected batting average of 510. I mean, this is just Corey Seager at his finest. He is looked so darn good. And this Rangers offense able to rally late to tack on. I mean, the Rangers offense didn't score until the sixth inning. They only got one run in off of Yusei Kikuchi, who has had a shaky start so far to his tenure as a Los Angeles Angel of Anaheim after signing that big 3-year deal after half a season with the Houston Astros, who traded for him a couple of pretty darn good prospects for half a season, and no postseason starts for Yusei Kikuchi because the Astros were swept. But Kikuchi looked exceptional in this one. 6 innings, just 3 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The Rangers couldn't do a whole lot against him. And there were some hard hit balls, and this Rangers lineup was down a few bats. Josh Smith bruised his thumb, so he was out in this one. Also, Jock Peterson, who was a lefty on the mound, and Jock Peterson has been in a little bit of a rough way, but Bruce Bochy had some positive things to say about Jock Peterson. He thinks he's not long for breaking out of this slump. He said he had a couple of good swings out there in Seattle. I don't know which swings he was talking about, but sure, if Bruce Bochy says it, then fine. Jake Berger was also unavailable in this one. He is dealing with a bit of an illness. He is going to be maybe available off the bench in this game on Wednesday against the Angels and Jose Soriano. I would imagine that he just gets the full day, but I bet we see Josh Smith back there in the lineup at some point in this game on Wednesday. And this Rangers lineup just rallying late. I mean, this is not a good Angels bullpen. This is a bullpen that has given up, quite a few runs. I mean, Johnson, who pitched in the 8th inning, gave up a couple of runs. One of them was unearned. One of them was just a really, really heady base running play by Josh Young. A ground ball to the third baseman by Kevin Pillar. He beats it out, an infield single, and then the throw is just offline, and Josh Young was at second base and saw that play and just said, "Hey, I'm going for it." With 2 outs, he said, "I'm absolutely going for it." It would be really, really difficult, even if that throw was on line to the first baseman. Well, if it was on line to the first baseman, maybe it would have just been an out. But Josh Young, with that heady play, getting that extra run, keeping it from being a save situation. Luke Jackson comes in and pitches a shutout inning anyway, but this offense just rallying late, adding some runs on, including a couple of doubles from the Rangers catchers, Kyle Higashioka, an RBI double, driving in Jonah Heim, who was caught stealing for the first time, only because Kyle Higashioka swung and missed on it was really batter's interference, so a strike him out, throw him out double play in which the runner was not thrown out. Otherwise, Jonah Heim would have had his 3rd stolen base of the season. I'm not sure if he actually would have been caught by Travis d'Arnaud on that throw, but alas, we will never know. But speaking of runners being thrown out, Kyle Higashioka throwing out a runner. The Angels were only 1 for 2 in their stolen base attempts, one by Michael Nelson Trout on a throw that was not made because Kyle Higashioka just could not complete the transfer. I think he knew that Mike Trout was running on that play, but he caught Taylor Ward barely, and I'm not entirely sure that if it was challenged, it would have stood up. But hey, the Rangers caught a runner stealing, something they have barely been able to do so far this season. Heck, I mean, nobody's really been able to do that so far this season. But speaking of stealing bases, got to give some props to Leody Taveras for starting the rally and scoring what ended up being the game-winning run with a bunt single, and then stole second base and went to third on the errant throw by Travis d'Arnaud. Ended up on third base with the 2-0 count to Marcus Semien, who nearly had his 2nd home run of the season, about as far as you can hit a sac fly, giving the Rangers that 1-0 lead. Semien's been putting some good swings on the baseball. He has been hitting it a little bit harder than he had in the past. It's good to see him getting some swings off. He had a line out of that 350 expected batting average, a couple of hard hit balls, including that sac fly that was 0.1 miles per hour short of being 100 miles an hour off the bat. He had a ground out with a 380 expected batting average. He had a fly out with a 370 expected batting average. I mean, he's putting some better swings on it. He's not just out there flailing. I think eventually the hits will start to drop for him, but in the meantime, I don't know if he can keep up this level of a lack of success and stay in the leadoff spot whenever Wyatt Langford comes back. Maybe that leadoff spot is his, or maybe they will keep him in the 3 hole, but Wyatt Langford will be back fairly soon. Probably at some point this weekend, probably as soon as he is eligible. I believe he is eligible to return on Saturday. Maybe it's Friday, but he has started swinging the bat. He said he feels fine. He feels like, he's basically 100%. He's just got to wait until he is eligible to return to the IL. I don't think we're going to see any minor league rehab starts for Wyatt Langford because he says, hey, I still feel fresh. I was swinging a good bat before I had this injury. It was, I think, just severe enough to put him on the IL because, he's feeling fine enough, but the Rangers couldn't go basically 6 days without having being a man down on the bench. So hopefully we will see Wyatt Langford return and he will look like the same version of himself, and we will start to see, hopefully after today, a healthy and hot swinging Jake Berger and a renewed Jock Peterson. I mean, it's just crazy how well this team has performed, with the best parts of this team being mostly bad. I mean, this offense was supposed to be exceptional, and they haven't scored more than 6 runs in a game. And they're still 10-7, top of the AL West, because of the likes of Tyler Mahle, because of the likes of Wyatt Langford, because of Jack Leiter, of Nathan Eovaldi, and this bullpen, who pitched 3 shutout innings and looked really darn good. I mean, we hadn't seen Luke Jackson in the game in quite some time because the Rangers got swept in that series against Seattle and only got 1 win in that series against the Cubbies. But Jacob Webb coming in there and pitching a shutout inning, Robert Garcia coming in there and getting a couple outs, and Chris Martin throwing 8 pitches in that at-bat to finish out that inning in a very, very close 7th inning at that point. This is just a team that is rolling, and it is hopefully only getting better. But if Tyler Mahle keeps it up like this, boy howdy, this might be the best pitching team in baseball. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank y'all so much for listening and subscribing, and until next time, don't forget to enjoy baseball.